Hey guys, the patch 6.45 patch notes have just dropped, and with that, I'm going to be doing my super condensed summary of all the details here. The Hildibrand questline is getting expanded with the questline by Agents Unknown, which is going to be starting at Rods at Han, coordinates of X of 11.4 and Y of 11.5 at Dandelion, and players must first complete the quest Generational Bonding, and so really we're just looking at a continuation from patch 6.35's expansion of this. After that, we're looking at getting the relic weapons upgraded yet again with the brand new Manderville quests, which is going to start with a Spirited Reforging, where you need to complete the quests Well Oiled and Not From Around Here. And so if you look at the previous Hildibrand quests, you will see that Not From Around Here was actually the second installation of the quest there, so you need to get through all the Manderville content before you started this. But you start Spirited Reforging by talking to Gerald of Rivia at Rods at Han, X of 12.0, Y of 7.1. And no, I don't mean the one from Netflix. Not the new one. I'm gonna get hate for that. Why would they ever replace Henry Cavill? Dude, what the fuck's wrong with people? Crafters and gatherers, however, are not being left out of the relic joy with the Splendorous Tools, or rather I should have said they've been not left out of the Splendor, and they are going to have a continuation of their questline with the Joy of Zoe, starting from Grendolt in the Criterion, X of 10.5, Y of 7.7. Moving away from anything relic related, we are looking at the new installation of the variant and Criterion dungeons coming with this patch, which are going to be Kugane and Swarmblood themed, starting with the questline Monoke Aware. You go to Old Charlian and talk to Shalamore at coordinates of X of 12.0 and Y of 13.3. You do need a few prerequisites though. You need to complete the Endwalker storyline, and you also need to speak with Osmond in Old Charlian, X of 11.9 and Y of 13.3. Likewise, in the patch notes, there's a quest below it that's like a bunch of question marks. I am like 90% sure that this is going to be related to unlocking the Criterion version of this. If anyone's like, what does this mean, variant Criterion? Variant is like the more casual friendly version of it. It's like the more story based one. If you look at the last Criterion dungeon, that was the one where you had like a whole bunch of different secret paths that you could do, and so yeah, this is going to be the easier version. Criterion's going to be the harder one. Now, diving into some of the nitty-gritty details, we know that Mont Rakan is going to require item level synced down to maximum of 665, which is going to be best in slot for this patch, and so a lot of people are going to be that, a lot of people aren't going to be that, but the item level requirement to enter is going to be level 605 or above, and so this is going to be pretty fairly accessible. Like, even if you had like best in slot from last year, or if you just pick up just crafted crap, you can get around 640 pretty easy, so most people are going to be able to enter this no problem. And then they're just giving a few reminders that I'm going to just gloss over here. Like, you enter it in variant and Criterion through the VNC dungeon finder, variant and Criterion dungeon finder, and then you can set actions. You can have variant actions when you go into the variant form of it, but when you're talking about Criterion version, we're looking at things a little bit harder, and they're a little bit more clamped down on the requirements. But in order to get into the Criterion dungeon, you do need to complete the variant dungeon, and likewise the Criterion dungeon is going to have a few more restrictions, like resurrection restriction, but the Savage version is going to like kick it up a notch. And on that note, let's talk about that. So another Mount Rakan Savage is going to require no item level requirement and item level sync down to 665 as well. You can enter Prawley for North American servers, ideally through Party Finder with a pre-made group, or you can enter into the duty through the VNC Dungeon Finder. But with that, I'm not going to like bog us down with all the details in this video. If you want like all of them, like as a quick refresher, I would recommend checking out the patch notes, but general things like they're not going to be as free with resurrecting. Like, you can't like bring a red mage and res everyone. You're going to get a Sewer Dweller effect, which is like a dungeon in Rage. If you're taking too long, the dungeon is going to reset after like a party member, like a party knockout. Like, it's definitely going to be a little bit more challenging. The previous raid tier, not the current one, but the previous raid tier has Echo, and it's been buffed to a 15% healing potency, maximum HP, and damage bonus, so that's going to help people get over that hump if they want like glam. Now this gets us into Blue Mage, which is something that I am looking forward to releasing a tool pretty soon for you guys on my site. That is hopefully going to help out. And so Blue Mage is getting its level boosted to Shadowbringer's max level, which is going to be level 80, and so this is going to start off by also giving us quest lines the quest is going to start at level 70 with "and the crowd goes mild," not wild, mild. So kind of savage naming there. And you start that by talking to Martin in Ul'dah, the Steppes of Thal, at coordinates of X of 12.5 and Y of 13.0. And in order to complete or take on this quest, you need to complete the main scenario quest Reflections in Crystal and the job quest A Future in Blue. Also with that, we're obviously looking at a bunch more blue mage spells being added. Like we can see Innocence is going to be in the background, so we're definitely looking at some kind of like line AoE or something with that, which is going to be pretty neat. But in addition to that, we are going to be looking at some adjustments to current actions, which the main changes, there's really two. Ice Spikes and Veils of Whirl won't stack, which are just 2 defensive buffs, and then Aetheric Mimic, well, damaging defensive buffs, I should say. They're kind of like damage back to like targets that hit you kind of buff. Like you get what I mean. They just can't be stacked. And then the next thing is that Aetheric Mimicry is now also going to have its healer variant, and specifically only the healer variant, changed to now increase the potency of all the healing effects. So we definitely know this expansion we are looking at getting a little bit more healing out, which I'm kind of excited for. Likewise, this is going to come with new achievements, or rather new Blue Mage entries in the Blue Mage log. Probably we're looking at Savage. We're going to be looking at Mass Carnival getting expanded, and so that's going to be really cool. Also, Blue Mage has like a parasol weapon, which is kind of hilarious given everything. I find it funny. Also, we do see new items being added for Glamour. Bunch new housing items, and like I'm gonna try and restrain the fangirling, but like these outdoor items like that fountain thing is just outrageous. I love the flower pot too. I'm a huge fan of all this. I love the statues, the outdoor furnishings. All y'all doing is making it so that I really wish that we didn't have a limit on outdoor furnishings the way we do. Like for a large plot, god, give me more outdoor furnishings. I would love to turn it out with this. Like, god, these are beautiful. Anyhow, that's all. There's my rant. With that, I'm closing up this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I personally have actually got a lot of excitement for this patch. I'm very excited for Blue Mage. I'm very excited to see what